Yeah, I don't have a college degree. I don't have an undergraduate degree. I have some college experience, but it just wasn't my path. I went the internship to entrepreneurship route. Fortunately for me, I found a mentor. But now I have taught at universities. People that I went to school with have asked me for a job. It all comes full circle. So when you run an agency, you go from having one boss to having 20 bosses, and your mindset has to shift to the deliverables, the ICP, the wants and needs, the unique aspects of each individual client. And so it's very mentally taxing to do that. And the biggest mistake that I made in that first business is I built it solely around my personal brand.
What's up, everyone? So, today we got a true digital marketing powerhouse on the Sahil Sehgal show. Someone who is on a mission to help 1 million people make money through AI and especially using videos, faceless videos. We'll be talking about his software, Syllabi. He's the CEO of Syllabi, and he has already built multiple seven figure agencies as well. So we're going to be diving deep into his journey. So without any further ado, let's welcome Austin Armstrong to our show today. Welcome, Austin.
Hey, brother, thank you so much for having me on. I'm pumped to be here. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm excited to nerd out with you about all things marketing.
Same here, man. Your journey is really inspiring. I was going through some of the stuffs and the things, businesses that you have built, and you are doing this like from almost, I think, 2 decades, more than that. Doesn't look like though, but you have done that. So we're gonna be diving deep. Like for people who don't know who is Austin, what he has done, could you just share your backstory a little?
Yeah, I'll try and summarize it. So, I have been doing social media marketing for more than 20 years now, which seems crazy. But I got started on MySpace when I was 14 years old. I'm almost 35. And I got bit by that bug immediately. I just stumbled into these communities where everyone was growing their following, and I was able to monetize that at a very young age through things like promoting t-shirt companies and doing email lead generation, getting paid for that. I even had a SaaS platform when I was 15, 16 to help other people grow on MySpace as well. Fast forward to about 11 years ago is when I really started my professional career in video marketing on social. I moved across country from New Jersey to California and stumbled into an internship, which was the best thing that could have happened in my life. So I went from being an unpaid intern to a paid intern to a part time employee to a full time employee to basically running that video marketing agency. That led me to being head of digital marketing at several drug and alcohol treatment centers because that was the niche that we really focused on is video marketing for behavioral health experts. And then that agency had failed. I had started my first agency called Socialty Pro about a little over 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago. I got fired from my job at the treatment center, bet on myself, went all in as an entrepreneur during the pandemic in my agency. It worked. I grew that to multiple seven figures and then ultimately shut down that agency about a year ago to hyper focus on Syllabi, which is now my full time commitment. Syllabi is basically the culmination of 20 years of social media marketing experience and 11 years of video marketing experience turned into a software that allows anyone to be successful with video marketing and grow their following and generate revenue online. So that's kind of the summarized version there.
Thank you so much for sharing that, man. That's a lot in this young age. You have done it. And you did it all through, like, it's an untraditional start, if I'm not wrong. Like, there's no college degree involved in it, and you set it up all through that. How was that? Like, what do you see that approach as building everything, this big empire that you did without any traditional start?
Yeah, definitely risky, but I'm a very risk tolerant person. So, yeah, I don't have a college degree. I don't have an undergraduate degree. I have some college experience, but it just wasn't my path. I went the internship to entrepreneurship route. Fortunately for me, I found a mentor. So that's really so my boss became my business partner and has been a huge mentor for me and has paid for my training and paid for me to travel all around the world to go to conferences. And he saw something in me and invested in my growth, and that ended up working out very well for both of us. But I mean, to be completely honest and a little blunt here, it was for a long time before I found success. It was a thing I was self conscious about because when you go and connect with people in the real world, the small talk conversation always is, where'd you get your undergrad? Where did you go? Where's your alma mater? And I had to be honest, like I didn't, I don't have a degree. I didn't go to college. It wasn't my path. And I was very self-conscious about that because, and I even like, I think people just kind of look down on it a little bit, but there are so many unique paths in life. I mean, that path sounds boring to me.
Mm, right.
I don't want that path. I'm happy with my path. Now, I'm not recommending that, like, if that is your path, do it, right? Like that is still a successful model to, go through life, get the degree, get the good job, have the stability. But that just wasn't my path at all. And so it maybe took a little bit longer to have this success. But now I've taught at universities. People that I went to school with have asked me for a job. It all comes full circle. So
That's interesting, man. Like, and in the beginning, I'm want to dive deep into that. So it's like you are unsure of what's gonna happen next, and then you at the same time don't have these degrees, like the job, as per se, like quote unquote, job security thing. What was your mindset? Is it just because you had a mentor and that was like main thing, which was your pillar, strong pillar, strength pillar, or is it something different? Were you wired different?
I think I'm wired differently. I think you have so I think anyone can by definition be an entrepreneur because you can be an entrepreneur by acquisition, you can start a company, whatever, it doesn't need to be successful. But I think you have to be born entrepreneurial. There are people that have the tendencies of risk tolerance and are just like my whole life I've been entrepreneurial, right? My earliest memories are like selling, like in middle school and elementary school, buying pixie sticks at the dollar store, a pack of 100 and selling them for 25 cents each, right? Like that just makes sense to me my whole life. And there's a little healthy narcissism, I think, that you have to have in this position. So um, I always saw myself as I'm going to be successful. Riding bike past the mansions in New Jersey as a kid, I would say, I'm going to have that one day. I have zero doubts in myself that I will achieve this at some point. I just know that I'm built for this. And so I think like that inner dialogue has carried with me throughout my whole life. So I don't know if other people have that internal dialogue. I have always been intrinsically motivated myself. I'm very fortunate to have stumbled across a mentor that helped guide and push me. I totally recognize that if I had not come across that, I don't know where I'd be. That was just my life path in particular.
Right. And in other words, we can say you attracted that. You manifested it and then you attracted it. Not a lot of people even think about that. I can relate to you like so many points, like being young and selling. Like I used to sell even like there was phones on Amazon that goes for sale for quick seconds, like Prime Days, and then selling it at much more heavier prices and like
Heck
pens
yeah.
to my buddies in the school. So
Yeah.
yeah, so like we all have done that kind of. That was the start of being us like an entrepreneur, like we can say
Flipping
that science.
baseball cards and
Yeah,
Pokemon cards back in the day, like that's what it's all about.
exactly, exactly. And I'm more curious to know. So you, when you built this Syllabi you talked about, and then your Socialty Pro, you did this all organic, right? You built to seven figures and all. I'm personally curious to know what's that like. Most people will kill for that kind of success or that kind of secret sauce that you have scaling businesses so quickly. And if I'm not wrong, you did an ARR in 6 months or under that for Syllabi. How does that happen all organic? I'm curious to know that.
Yeah, so I'm a little stubborn in that sense, and we do run ads for Syllabi now. Just heads up,
Okay.
we didn't we started it very much organic, and organic is still a big part of it, but we do run ads, of course. But so my philosophy, Well, to back up a little bit, so before I started my first business, I remember like I was in the trenches for a long time. I've produced thousands of videos, and I've gone to dozens of conferences over the years, and I've paid for one-on-one coaching from experts, and I've listened to all the podcasts, and I've read all the books. I studied everything. I'm a student of the game. I love marketing. I love social media. I've learned from the best, and I applied all of that, and so it's just the reps. And so, in 11 years, well, I guess 5 years of doing it for other people, it got very good. I've grown multiple YouTube channels to tens of thousands of followers for clients and now hundreds of thousands. I got a couple YouTube likes, but just doing it over and over again, you get to a point of like, why am I only doing this for other people? I should be doing this for myself. And so when I started my first company, Socialty Pro, the agency, the philosophy going into that is, who are you going to hire? The social media company that has no social presence themselves. They like spam their blog articles with a bunch of hashtags that never works, and their last post was a year ago. Or are you going to hire the social media agency that has hundreds of thousands of followers that's providing incredible information for you and actionable information for you every single day? The reason that we're on a demo call is because you saw my social media proving the concept. And so that's when I really started to focus on growing my personal brand again on social media, is when I started Socialty Pro. And it just started to work. I had a lot of really early success on TikTok in particular, and that started to grow. I started to get leads from TikTok for the agency, particularly about SEO. So I tested a bunch of different niches. I shared some really unique takes on how to do SEO and incorporate video into SEO. Started to blow up on TikTok. Got a lot of SEO clients. Then people started to recognize, hey, you've got a lot of followers on TikTok. Can you help me with that? Pivoted that agency into a TikTok marketing agency, which is really what made us successful. As TikTok was exploded during the pandemic. We had all of the amazing track record of organic growth on TikTok. I've grown like 15, 20 accounts to 100,000 followers on TikTok, and just continue to grow my brand. And then a lot of my content was at the top of the funnel, useful business or useful websites for business owners and entrepreneurs. So when you're creating a funnel of content, the very top of the funnel is the widest casting net that would indicate that they would be a good buyer for your business, right? And so I'm casting that wide net because I'm trying to attract business owners and entrepreneurs. So that made me very successful with affiliate marketing, because as I'm talking about these useful websites and SaaS tools and whatnot, I promote my affiliate links. I get 20, 30, 40% commissions every month, stacks up. And so eventually also I got to the point where I'm like, well, again, why am I doing this for 20, 30% when I can, I know that I can sell this. So why not come up with my own SaaS? And so that's where the idea of really systematizing what we were doing at Socialty Pro and turn it into a software, which is now Syllabi, came to be. So by the time, and I built Syllabi in public as well. So so there's two different ways that you kind of build companies, right? There's like incognito, just don't tell anyone, basically, like disappear for 6 months to build the thing, but and then emerge with this thing, or you build in public and tell the story. And so like the hero's journey is what I incorporated through Syllabi's launch. So from the moment I had the idea, I put it out there on social and said, I'm thinking about this idea. I want to work on this software tool. Would this help you? Let me know in the comments. Yes, 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 yes. And through the entire development cycle, shared screenshots of what we're working on, really building and hyping people up. And then when we were getting close to launching, we put up a landing page to capture email addresses, just to sort of take the idea and test the market. And we gained through that process, and that took like 9 months really, we gained over 10,000 emails. And so that really validated for me. So it was, if you want early access to beta test Syllabi for 50% off, enter your email address. We'll let you know as soon as it comes out. And so through all of that, and that's all organic, when we launched, we were profitable day one. And then I just continued to funnel in and create content and sneak in Syllabi, as I'm still doing today. And it's continued to be organic. I've built a lot of relationships with influencers that help promote us. We do a lot of influencer marketing. We do a lot of email marketing. We do a lot of SEO. We are doing quite a bit of paid paid now, but yeah, that's kind of been the journey is building in public and staying consistent and just bringing people along that journey. People have been watching Syllabi come to life, and we've really tried to build this movement behind it as well of
Right.
democratizing video marketing and making it accessible for everybody rather than paying thousands of dollars a month that I was charging at my agency. Now anybody can have this success for $25 a month. And so
Mm.
just telling that whole story.
I love the concept of how you built like a hero's journey, and then you were building a tribe along with that, and people were seeing it. So it was all genuine. It was not like built up, or it's like, okay, I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not. Austin just came up with something. We'll see. But you showed them the whole journey. That's so curious. What's the which year was it when the idea was born? How many years ago?
3 years ago. So we
2023.
launched, yeah, yeah. So we launched January 25th of 2023. We went
Mm-hmm.
public.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it would have been, yeah, March or April 2022 that I had the initial idea for Syllabi, and then yeah, development, and that in and of itself is a headache. It's so much easier now in the AI era because like I had
Right.
hired a team and that I outsourced the original development, and that did not work. I burned a lot of money doing that, but it allowed me to have something that I could show my now CTO.
Mm-hmm.
And he like rebuilt it, and we rebuilt it over like 2 month period after it took them 6 months, and then we launched it and continued to scale from there.
Wonderful. And you have built like agency business, and now it is software platform SaaS. It is. What are the differences that you see in growing an agency versus a SaaS setup?
So for me, I really got burnt out on the agency life, to just be 100. So
How
you
big was the
go
team? Curious.
about 11 or 12 was the size of the agency. I think at our peak we had about 20 clients.
And average ticket price
Um,
was?
Anywhere from 5,000 a month to 15,000 a month
Okay. Okay.
was the price range. So we had a couple that were higher than that actually, like really specific. But anyway, you go from when you run an agency, you go from having one boss to having 20 bosses, and your mindset has to shift to the deliverables, the ICP, the wants and needs, the unique aspects of each individual client. And so it's very mentally taxing to do that. And the biggest mistake that I made in that first business is I built it solely around my personal brand. And the problem with that is that when you get clients, they want to work with me. They want to work with you. They don't want to just be handed off to another team member. And
Mm-hmm.
so it got very emotionally and mentally taxing for me to stay on top of all of these people. Nightmares, work dreams, whole nine yards there, losing clients. It's very up and down when one day you're on top of the world and then the next day you lose a 20,000 a month client. And it's
I,
like that hits our revenue, like that hits our margins like crazy.
mm,
There's been multiple times that we're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford payroll this month. Like moments like that. It's just a roller coaster of like amazing highs, and then there'd be times where I'd be on vacation with my wife, and we'd lose a key employee and a key client like while I was out of country, and so there was like nothing that I could do, like just brutal stuff like that. So I couldn't even sell the agency. I tried to separate from it for a while. I had to shut it down because I just could not get those self-sustaining pieces and employees in place to get sales without my involvement, run everything for, like we had SOP, neither here nor there. So now I get to hyper focus all of my marketing knowledge on one thing, on
mm,
growing Syllabi. So I don't get distracted by a million different things. I still do, ADHD entrepreneur, but it's all to focus on growing one thing, to do one thing.
mm,
It's a very interesting world, startup world versus marketing world. Like the conferences and the people are very different. Fundraising is probably the most stressful part of startup because it's just rejection, rejection, rejection. But I love it so much. 3 years into this, 2.5 years since launch, and it is so much less stressful for me running a software company. And it allows me to just make my own schedule, do whatever I want. I'm not dependent on clients. I can just, and I've delegated. I have fantastic business partners that do the things that I don't like to do and I'm not good at, so that I can stay in my zone of genius. And we have a very well structured team I've learned from that first business, so that I am able to do cool CEO shit and do interviews like this and create content and do speaking engagements and travel the world and do networking and all of the stuff that I love to do and lights me up and brings me enjoyment. And so that's the difference for me.
Thank you so much for sharing that, man. Again, it's relatable to that. I'm into that phase where most high techers who used to do 5K, 10K, 25K and all, and then same feeling is like when you either get a client at 25K, you'll be like out of, like, the excitement level is so much higher, and then when you have a refund and they're like, ah, man, and
Yeah.
personally even all that stuff. But now you're talking about it's more of like, okay, it's not even a heavy amount of investment somebody is doing. At the same time, it's a volume game that gotta be playing at $25 a month if we take consider that
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah.
So this thing is when you are now for getting even a $25 client, you are posting a lot of content. I'm curious to know. I think you have posted more than 6,000 videos, if I'm not wrong, on social media, getting millions of views and
Probably.
all.
Yeah.
How do
Probably
you?
more.
What's that?
Probably way more than that. To
Probably
be.
maybe more than that. Yes. How do you not burn out then? In this case, what do you do? Any habits or any systems that you have put in the place so that you don't get into that stage where you have to do this daily grind of maybe posting content?
Great question. I genuinely enjoy creating content. It's a creative outlet for me. Now,
Mm-hmm.
there are, of course, times where I don't feel like creating, but I've built up the consistency muscle. It's habit, it's habitual at this point. Like, if I don't post something in the morning by like noon, I'm like, oh my God, I have to post something. Like, I'll pull over on a road trip and get gas just to post. So, borderline addiction. But,
Right.
um, I've always had the, I don't know if ability or solution of celebrating my own wins, no matter how big or how small. So that has always kept me intrinsically motivated, because like in the reality, like nobody really cares that, oh my God, you hit 100,000 followers. Cool. Like in your everyday life, outside of conferences and like outside of our community, like nobody gives a shit. Right. And so you have to be able to intrinsically motivate yourself and celebrate your own wins and be your own biggest cheerleader. And so I've always done that for myself. Like, yes, I did it. New milestone. Heck yeah. Um, and the more consistent that you are as well, it allows you to have a backlog of content that you can pull from as well, as sort of a tactical thing. So
Mm-hmm.
like every day I check Facebook memories, for instance. And so I have, posts that have performed really well over the years that I can see every day. And if it did well a year ago or 2 years ago, and it's sort of an evergreen piece of content, I can just repost that content again. The only person that sees everything that you post is yourself, or your VA if you're using that. But um, yeah, just building that consistency muscle. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like brushing your teeth, going to the gym, whatever your habits are. The more that you're able to do that and stay consistent, the easier it gets.
Right. Right. And which platform would you recommend usually? Like, it's like, okay, what's your favorite, first of all? Instagram, Facebook, for Reels and for Shorts. And why do you say that it's better than other one?
That changes for me a lot. I would say the last year and a half, almost 2 years, it's been Facebook. It was TikTok for a long time. I have a lot to thank TikTok for. I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok. They've banned me like 6 times.
Oh, wow.
I lost 900,000 followers on TikTok. So I'm a little bittersweet about it. But Facebook has the most amount of formats that you can post.
Mm-hmm.
It's where I have the most networking opportunities. We connected on Facebook and we were chatting on Facebook Messenger, and it's why we're on this podcast interview together right now through Facebook. We weren't exchanging DMs on Instagram. So
Yeah.
that's just where the vast majority of high quality networking for me happens. It's where I get the most reach. It's where I get the most impact.
Mm-hmm.
And so Facebook by far for me. And now I'm still very active on every social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I've figured most of them out. I'm still like I suck at X. I can't crack that cookie. But yeah, Facebook is by far my favorite.
And that's the videos too you're talking about. Networking, I understand. I do a lot of business on Facebook and networking. But for videos, for someone who is, let's say, a person who signs up for Syllabi and they start using it, it's faceless most of the time, shorts and all, it's most known for. So would you still recommend Facebook for that? Or would you recommend some other?
Yeah, I mean, I think most people that are using Syllabi are seeing a lot of success on YouTube, in particular with Facebook Faceless, and we do short and long form just to clarify. So we have you can create 40-minute long videos in Syllabi, no problem.
Oh, wow. I didn't
But
know. Interesting.
yeah, short or long. But we have our biggest video that I've seen ever was on Facebook. A guy created a faceless video about Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, because that's
Mm-hmm.
what his page is about. He lives in Pittsburgh. He's like a Pittsburgh influencer, and that did like 2 million views or something. It was
Wow.
just a made in Syllabi, but we've had a lot of we've seen a lot of success on TikTok as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's one girl, Tales of Irish History.
Mm-hmm.
That she's got about 50,000 followers on TikTok, all faceless videos made in Syllabi, hundreds of thousands of views consistently over and over and over again. Tales of Irish History. If anyone's
Mm-hmm.
interested, yeah, check that out. That whole page is made using Syllabi. But lots of YouTube success. I would say if you want to use Syllabi and you want to only pick one platform, I would probably start with YouTube.
And would you recommend going more faceless? Would you recommend start with personal branding or do mix of both? What do you say?
It's whatever is your comfort level. There's the benefit of faceless is there's so many people out there that don't want to be on camera for whatever reason. Maybe they feel self-conscious. They don't want the judgment from friends or family. Maybe they're literally not able to because they're in a regulated industry that monitors everything that they do online.
Mm.
Um, or they're just not, they had a bad hair day. They don't fit, whatever it is. Faceless allows you to create content, express your ideas without the pressure of needing to be on camera. You can mix and match. A lot of people do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can run entirely faceless channels. We also support AI avatars in Syllabi as well. So if you still want to maintain your image and likeness in your content, you can do that as well.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, there's no issue in mixing and matching or going one way or the other.
Right. Okay. For someone who's not comfortable with that, they can start with a faceless and then with the
Yeah.
time they can do that. And in terms of now, I know you talked about, you mentioned somewhere like you don't look for vanity metrics like likes and follows, but also something which can drive the business. Now we are talking about Syllabi. What is that framework or what is your framework to make sure that it doesn't get those vanity metrics only, but actual results, the monetary part as well?
Yeah, so how the scripts are structured in Syllabi is based off of my framework of scripts, the start video framework. So it always has a strong opening hook that holds attention. It proposes or it talks about a problem. It builds authority and provides valuable insights, and then has a call to action at the end as well. And adjust any of this after the scripts are generated. But this is a proven winning formula of scripts to perform really well. So when you go through a syllabi flow of using idea discovery first, and like I mentioned, like the whole concept of syllabi is a systematized approach that I was doing at the agency. And so that's one of the big things that makes us different.
Mm.
If you go to idea discovery and you type in a service that you offer, it's going to show you the questions that your prospective customers are searching for online with all of that data. So it shows you transactional oriented topics to create videos around. And then it has the video script format that addresses the problem associated with that question, provides actionable, reasonable solutions to that problem. shows you as the expert that you are, and then has a specific call to action to click the link in the bio, or click the link in the description, or go to this URL, whatever, to actually capture leads. And then we optimize the description in Syllabi as well, so you can publish and schedule videos from Syllabi to every social media platform. You can insert your links in there, and it'll automatically place it at the top of the description as well to drive a lot of leads. And a lot of people do this as affiliates as well. So you don't have to have a service-based business to be successful with this. A lot, like the simplest way that people are making money on Syllabi is they're creating a channel on ancient history, or something fun like that. And then they just have in the description, you can create faceless videos like this on any topic using Syllabi. Here's my link, right? And so just by creating a video that performs well organically, and then having that call to action of, you can create videos like this with no experience, click this link, it drives them affiliate commissions, it helps us grow, the product works because it gets organic views, and so it's win-win-win across the board. So you can use it to monetize however you want. Another recent feature that we just rolled out and we're expanding is URL to video with image scraping. As of when I'm saying this, it currently supports Redfin, Zillow, Amazon, and eBay. And so you can put in, so for real estate agents, for instance, we have a lot of real estate agents that use us. You can put in your listing that's on Redfin or Zillow, and it will create a house tour video for you in less than a minute with full voiceover. It pulls all of the pictures. You can add motion to those pictures with AI, so it looks like a drone shot where it's panning to the left, camera views, background music, the whole 9 yards, to really make an incredible house listing video. And then you can sell houses with it. Or for people that are in e-commerce, you can do the same thing. So you can put in a product that you want to sell, and so you can do this to create ads now, to create a product video ads. And we're, depending on when you're listening to this, it probably is already out because it's going to be out in 2 weeks for us. But we're going to support all URL to videos with image scraping. So you can take any URL that you want and create a video promoting that thing, whatever it is, the service, the item, the product, your digital assets, your ebooks, your courses, whatever. You'll be able to simply put in a URL, create a perfect video, have the link to that item in the description of the video, and blast it out everywhere.
That's like a one-stop shop, man.
That's the goal. That's the idea.
That's crazy. And what? So, like you being AI nerd, and you already have like a front row seat to what's coming. What do you see as emerging AI trends or innovations in content marketing that you are most excited about? Anything that you want to spill beans on?
Yeah, I mean, agentic AI is the natural one here that's gonna explode over the rest of this year into next year. So like we're in an echo chamber of people using these tools. Like I follow a bunch of AI influencers and content creators like myself, and I go to these conferences, and so we're already using AI agents. But the average person, when you go out to a restaurant and strike up a conversation with someone at the bar, they're like, "Yeah, I tried ChatGPT once." Like that's
Yeah.
the world that we're
We were
living in.
literally having that conversation yesterday in the park outside. And somebody mentioned about agentic AI, and I didn't have any idea about that. Now you are talking about it. It's crazy.
Well, there you go. Yes. So what agentic AI is it's multi-step, and it takes actions for you. So a quick explanation of this is you could go into ChatGPT and put in a simple prompt, write me a blog article on XYZ topic.
Mm,
Great. And it will write the text for you, and good luck, post it, right?
right.
But an agent will do the research. It will write the blog article for you. It will publish it on your website for you and optimize everything. And then it'll create a newsletter for you and send it to your email newsletter and create social media posts. And so full automation. That's the power of agents. And you can set these up right now using tools like Lindy or Make or N. There's a lot more that are coming up in the market, but you can set triggers. So like Lindy is an amazing tool. So you can like set it to your YouTube channel as a trigger. So every time that I upload a new YouTube video, I can get the transcript of it. I can turn it into a blog article, and I can publish it on my website. Fully automated. I don't have to do anything besides post the YouTube videos, and the rest is taken care of it for me. So full automation with agentic AI. And you can plug in so that it's you. It's not just like AI slop blasting across the internet. You can really customize it however you want. So particularly for content marketing, that's what's happening. So we're entering. It's already been fast paced. We'll argue this to no end of quantity over quality, but quantity with quality is
Mm,
really the secret. Quantity beats quality right now.
right.
That's going to piss some people off. Sorry.
That's true. Actually, it's more about what how much noise you can create about something because there is already so much noise, and you have to like literally beat those noises and come at the
Yeah.
top. Otherwise, you'll be beaten by. And then you'll be like, I'm producing content, but how many pieces? Like 2 pieces in a week. That's not producing content. That's a lazy approach to do content.
Yeah. Yeah. Your content might be better than mine, but I'm posting 5 to 10 times a
Right.
day. I'm going to bury you. Sorry.
Exactly. And what are your top three AI tools? Like anything that you use on daily purpose, anything non-negotiable? Like okay, these are must everyone should use in 2025 at least.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Shameless self plug, but I do use Syllabi every day. Like I built a tool that I wish existed. So, I think every founder should use their own product. I
Absolutely.
love Syllabi. I use it. But, ChatGPT and Claude I use on a daily basis. Now I've got GPT tasks set up that automate content creation for me every day.
Mm,
Love GPT. I use Perplexity quite a lot instead of Google searching. I mentioned Lindy. I use Lindy a lot now. Um, Notebook LM has become a very regular tool for me. So Notebook LM is Google's like podcast creator essentially. So you can upload a document in it,
mm,
and it will turn it into a podcast for you. So like rather than listening to or rather than reading like a 30-page document on churn analysis, like I can turn it into a 25-minute podcast and listen to it. That's easier for me to learn. Those are probably the big ones. There's test so many tools every given day, but those are probably the regular ones. I'm starting to use Manus a lot more over the last 2 weeks because you can kind of build everything. One other one, this is like more on the technical side. V0.dev is so cool and nobody knows about it. So it's like ChatGPT and Figma had a baby. So
right.
you can create and like designs for anything. I can take a screenshot of a competitor's software and say, code this, but for my branding. And it'll build it in a interactive format. And so like we do this now as a software company, like we don't use Figma anymore. We switched over to V0 for all of our product designs because they're interactive and demoable, and we do user interviews with new products that it would have taken hours, if not days, to create it in Figma. Now we can create it in minutes to hours, and it's better and it's good. And so we do user interviews that way, and we fully adopted that. So I'm in V0 pretty much every day too. So that's more of a technical tool, but like if you're trying to build anything right now, you should use that tool. It's amazing.
Right. Another question coming in my mind on the side note is like AI personas, AI avatars, or digital twins. What do you think it as like 5, 10 years down the road? Will they become a norm? Is that the thing? What do you say in your experience?
Yeah, definitely. I think. Have you seen the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix at all?
No.
It's a great movie where it's a very realistic take on some science fiction elements. And so he and everyone in the world have these, or a lot of people in the world have these devices. It's basically on their phone, and it's like their digital girlfriend. So they build emotional responses and talk to this person, and they form emotional relationships. And I think we're going to see a lot of that in our everyday life. Like I talk to ChatGPT every day. A lot of people I know talk to ChatGPT every day through their phone. I think that is going to continue to evolve with avatars as well. So in your pocket, you're going to be like a Zoom call, for instance, or a FaceTime. I can I'll be able to open my phone and say, hey, tax accountant, I want to, set up my financial success. Here's what I'm going through. And you'll have a real time AI agent that you can talk to that's better than a person because it has all of the information in its knowledge base right there, custom trained. So I think in the next probably 2 to 3 years tops, maybe next year, definitely in less than 3 years, 5 to 10 years. I don't even want to make a prediction. I have no idea. Probably more in the physical world, hardware oriented
Mm,
AI integration in that time period. But as far as software stuff, I can't predict 10 years out. Nobody can. It's moving too fast.
right.
But yeah, I think that, and like my wife and I talk about this all the time. Like, I can't wait for the house assistant, the personal travel assistant that I can just be like, "Hey, Chat GPT, I've got a conference in October in Dallas, Texas. Can you book my flights for me?" And it does everything. It has my preferences. It knows I want to be in business class in an aisle row, and I like to get there in the morning so I have the whole day, and it has my frequent flyer information and my XYZ stuff, right? And I can just say book it, just do it for me.
Right.
So I think that's the hyper personalized
Mm.
AI use with avatars is the direction that we're going in. Anyone will be able to have a personal assistant for anything in their life.
I'm sure that's very close. We are very close to it. I can feel that. So for people who are listening, watching, and message like you are doing attending some conferences, this Dallas event I know about. So what is your advice to the people who wants to jump into AI and don't know what are the steps they can take, what are the things that they can do in power, attending events, watching courses? What is your couple of advices for these people?
Yeah, I mean, don't get overwhelmed. It's because it is overwhelming. Like, we're all just doing the best that we can. It's moving at an insane pace. It's literally my job to stay on top of all of these AI tools, and I can't keep up. Nobody can keep up. There's a million tools. On any given day, like I'm creating 5 to 10 pieces of content about AI tools and emerging trends, and I'll talk to someone, and they're like, "Have you tried this?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't even heard of it before," because there's a million use cases out there for everybody. So focus on the the annoyances or the issues or the things that you want to save time doing in your life, and
Mm,
seek out AI solutions for those things. There's real applicable use cases to help you in your life and in your business and in content creation with AI tools right now. And so, like, a good practice for this to just get started, there's a great book, Buy Back Your Time, Dan Martell. There's a concept in it, time inventory. Do a
mm,
time inventory, mark down everything that you do from the moment that you wake up until the moment that you go to sleep. Um, Start time and end time of that task, a little description of it, and then score it. How much does it bring you enjoyment? How much do you hate it? How much ROI does this get you? Is this worth your time? Can you outsource this to an AI solution for a subscription cost or something like that that is less than what you value your time at? That's the concept of buying back your time. So start with like those needs, and then if you really want to immerse yourself and network with people like myself and learn from the best, I'm throwing an AI conference, a shameless self plug here. It's called AI Marketing World. It's October 9th through 11th in Frisco, Texas. It's right after Vid Summit, right before High Levels event. So sandwiched right in between strategically. So you can catch both of them. Come out to our event. It's going to be amazing. And some of the best AI marketers and AI experts in the world are going to be there. And we're all learning together. It's a no ego, no pitch event. We're just all sharing what's working right now and what's on the horizon. And so if you're interested in doing that, I can all but guarantee it'll be worth your time and investment to come.
absolutely. And I'll be dropping that link to attend the conference and want to attend other events as well. Make sure to follow Austin. We'll be dropping all that in the show notes. Any particular place you want them to go to, like Facebook, Instagram, where they can find more about you?
Yeah, I'm most active on so if you go to austinarmstrong.ai, that's my personal brand website that has all my links. You're probably gonna get the most out of me on Facebook. So if you go to my Facebook profile, and if you just search for Austin Armstrong, I'm the nerdy with glasses AI Austin Armstrong. There is another Austin Armstrong influencer that is a curly haired, 6'4" stud in Los Angeles
Little smaller than you.
on Facebook. Yeah. So yeah, I am not that guy. I am the nerdy AI Austin Armstrong.
Absolutely. So go follow, subscribe, or send a friend request, join his communities. I know what Austin is doing is really amazing, and you gotta catch the train right now, otherwise, you will be left behind. And that's what we don't want. Things are really evolving, as Austin also mentioned. So, Geek Out on it. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the show. Thank you so much, Austin, for sharing all the valuable stuff and everything, and for your time as well. It's been so gracious to have you, man.
I appreciate the opportunity. Hopefully, people got value from it.
Absolutely. All right. So, people again who were watching, listening, will be coming up with another episode very soon.